That's something I developed and I've perfected. So we're starting with cold water. This is contrary to what we traditionally do at home, where you wait for the water to boil. And the reason why, you know, came up with this way of doing it is it allows you to have this amala without what they call cocoa. You can also do this at very low heat. So I'll put it on simmer, gives us plenty of time to kind of do whatever we need to do. So the most critical step is making sure that none of those pieces kind of bunch up inside the water. So you take your time. You don't even need to do this on the water. You can just use cold water. So in this case, I'm just going to turn this completely off. So we have just take our time and then pour this in. So now that the mixture is still a little watery, so you want to kind of keep pouring this in until you get a nice blend. And you can tell by the way this what do they call this thing again? Orogun. Orogun there. The way this thing is going through, so that way. So this is the most critical step because amala being my favorite food, you get put off when you put it in your mouth and you have these, little clumps, sometimes with powder of amala left in it. And so anyway, so you could see how this is now. So anyway, so back to here. So this guy is, so now we have a nice paste. So you can do this while it's nice and, cold water. So even if, there's no risk of fire. I think I'll put a little more powder because I have a feeling it may not be as, and with amala, it depends on how light you want it to be. So at this point, you can turn out the heat. Let's see if I go here. Okay, so I'm going to go with medium setting. And so with this, the way it is, you can pretty much walk away from this. So if you like, you can cover it up. Sometimes I just hang around and doing other stuff, answering emails, and then you just let this rest. But in this case, I'll speed up the process. So I'll turn the temperature, the stove on high, so that we can get to where we're going much faster. And so you could kind of wear your normal clothing without, you don't have to sweat through doing this particular, dish. And the rest is just a matter of waiting. The chances of this forming clumps is zero. You can come back to it whenever it's formed the paste. And you can just leave it there. You see the paste starts to form. You see it just slowly, you can see that forming around it. And I just leave it alone. Sometimes I'll cover it up. And I think I will do that in this instance. I can just leave it. Because what that does is allows you to actually cook better. So another problem with amala is sometimes some people want it cooked all the way through. With the traditional system where you're pouring it into hot water, you're basically struggling to make sure you don't form any of those clumps. So, and that just puts on unnecessary pressure and stress on whoever is making it. For those of us who are kind of getting older, if you have to make amala in a big pot and you're using the traditional method, you must have a good shoulder. Or even maybe a good stamina, because after that traditional pulling and tugging, you're sweaty, pretty much unhygienic. So if I take this off, you can see this guy is already formed a paste. So it's probably it's contrary to what we do at home, where you actually cover it, you just kind of let it slowly cook. So you can start to see that. So what I do is I just keep stirring this. So remember, I'm using high heat, so that's why this is forming quickly. But sometimes I just leave it on simmer. I go do other stuff. When I'm ready, I come back in and then just so if we got the formula for the paste right, you see that this guy starts to harden. Okay, you see that. And you don't have to really touch this until the end. So usually I'll just cover it up. You can see the brown is also slowly changing its shade. So in order so that if you're not using a pot which is non-stick, you can actually just pour a little bit of water into the, just to the bottom so that it doesn't kind of burn up. That water you can turn, pour it out once you're ready to start mixing. Or if you think your amala is a little too thick, you can then mix that water with. So what I do at this point is I just kind of cover that up again. I want it to steam up. But some people want, most people want the amala all thoroughly cooked. And at this point, you don't even need that much heat, so I turned this guy down to medium. But if you look at the time frame, we could do this while you're doing other stuff. But you can see how that color is changing, and that's the extra water. In this case, I think I might just be able to mix that water. So if you look at the brown on this legging, and then this guy here, you see how this guy is cooked. This guy is still on the non-cooked side, and you can start to see that shiny golden brown color to well cooked amala. So you see that I'm not stressing my shoulder. I don't need to have a good wrist. And all I'm doing is just kind of, this is about the same energy you probably use on pap or ogi. So as opposed to, and you can see that there's no cocoa in this, no clumps, so that way if you really want to be super aggressive, you can actually now do the stuff that they do at home, but most times you don't need to. But I just do that sometimes to give me a nice texture, kind of shiny feel to it. So at this point I'm pretty much done. So that's your amala all done.